Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on AM 1170. The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with Whissel Realty, joined as always by Mr. Jason Hall, Team Home Loans, and Matt Rinkey, Illumination Wealth, in the studio. So again, before the break, we got some awesome knowledge from Jason and Matt, ways that you can save some money on the income taxes, property taxes, really good stuff. If you ever want to reach out to us on the show, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. Or you can listen to past episodes of the show at whisselwednesdays.com, WHISSEL Wednesdays.com. Matt, some loopholes. You got some loopholes for our listeners today. So let's get into that. Loopholes that deal with real estate.
Yeah,
which
completely.
is just perfect for someone listening to the show right now.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my clients in their planning and life planning, we figure out ways to do things differently, or we figure out ways for them to live a better life in some capacity. And for example, one of my clients lives in Los Angeles, bought a home 4 years ago. It's gone up in value appreciably. And he's
Smart
considering renting that house out while he relocates out of state. But the house has had some significant capital appreciation, some significant gains. So he could theoretically sell that home right now and have $500,000 of the gains completely tax-free. And, so this is a situation where he could continue to rent that house out, but there'd be the possibility that he might not be able to shield all that in taxes when he goes to sell down the road. So he theoretically, as a married person, could shield $500,000 by selling now, buy a similar home in his neighborhood, rent that one out instead, get mortgage interest deduction, and still capitalize on what could be $100,000+ of tax savings by selling now or in the next couple of years, as opposed to staying in that home and renting it out. So it's a really big decision for these guys. Do they move? Do they stay? Do they rent? Do they sell? But oftentimes, selling and harvesting that free tax money is huge.
Yeah, $500,000 is huge.
Yeah, there's not too many opportunities you have in your lifetime to take down six figures from and not have to give the government a penny of it. Like, that doesn't happen very often in your lifetime.
Yeah, no, and this is one of those cases.
The very few things I can even think of, you guys, where you're talking about six figures and not taxed.
Jason, you've been in your house 2 years.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I have $500,000 yet.
But you've been in your house 2 years. I called you about a house yesterday that's exactly what you always wanted.
My wife was in the background going, don't listen to Kyle. Because she already knows.
2 years. You've got some equity built up, Jason.
So Kyle saw a house yesterday that he knows I love the type of layout of the home and really the entry of the driveway and the wraparound and all the stuff. We looked at homes a few years ago quite a bit. And so he kind of knows my taste, and he called me up and goes, "Hey, Jason, you wouldn't believe this house." My wife's in the background going, "No, I'm not going to sell. I don't want to buy anything." Because she knows if I go, look at it, and Kyle knows if I go look at it, I'll probably buy it.
Yeah, I know. I got to drag him out there.
Yeah,
because he's been in his house.
We'll probably be out after the show.
I think so.
He's been in his house 2 years. He could sell tax-free and then buy the other house.
There you go.
Yeah, no, it's a wise decision. I just wish I was up $500,000.
Yeah,
not there yet. But the moment I'm up even a couple $100,000, I think I would sell. Although my wife says she's never going to sell a house, and you know that. But she's probably going to bury me there.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, I have another client who's single, same thing, in Los Angeles, and bought a house for about $600,000 a couple of years ago. Can now selling it for $820,000, taking advantage of the $250,000, in capital gains, and he's going to rent for a short period of time and find out where can he capitalize on another opportunity to buy and do some improvements and do it again. And you can do that multiple times in your life. It's not just one time.
No, you can do it every 2 years. So it's huge. I've seen clients, so that tax law went into effect in 1994 when the Republican Congress got that passed. That was huge. It was the biggest thing they did for real estate, my career. And I've seen since that day happened in 94, I have seen clients literally, it's usually clients without kids. Here's a huge, listen up, this is huge. They literally buy houses every couple of years. Now, when the market was building a lot of new homes here in San Diego in the late 90s, one was a real estate agent. So they would, go purchase a home, know it's going to take 6 to 9 months to build it. Once they got close, they would sell their current house, gain the couple $100,000 in equity, tax-free, purchase the next new home. But with new construction and you're purchasing the price 6-9 months ahead of time, at least back then, they already locked in the price. They weren't setting prices like some of these things now. They're like, well, we don't want to set the price because we don't know how much it'll be worth when the house is built. But before that happened, they were setting the prices 9 months out. And so they were literally getting 9 months of equity without even living in the home or even putting having a mortgage on the home. They just had a down payment. Literally, they sold 8 consecutive homes, made $1 million tax-free.
Awesome.
In 16 years. And that's they did it right up to when the market broke in 2007. So literally, that's a huge thing. So Kyle knows this because Kyle knows all about real estate. But it was something me and him talked about. And my wife's like, yeah. And I start showing the houses that I thought would be great investments. My wife's like, I'm not living there. I'm not living there. I'm like, but honey, we could fix this up, do this, and we could sell this in 2 years. And I could make easily $100 to $200,000. I'm like, come on, I ain't living there. Yep. So that's the one caveat. You got to make sure you have a spouse who's willing to live with you if you do that. But it's really a smart investment if you can make it happen. And you can text Kyle and I at 619-663-7355. You too can find out how to literally buy and sell real estate and pay 0 income tax.
And I think that what you brought up is like those friends of yours, they harness their skill set, their low-hanging fruit in their life. And so that's the type of planning that excites me and my clients is like, what's best for them? It's not just putting money into a stock portfolio, but how can you harness the low-hanging fruit? And what are your competitive advantages, whether it's real estate, whether it's fixing up homes on the side, whether it is the stock market or setting up online businesses? How can you build wealth by doing what's good for you, by what your skill set is at, what's in interest to you? And your friends did it. My clients are doing it. And that's the key is what does your life look like? And for some of us, we might need to make sacrifices to live in a home that suits our family, and we might not be doing the 2-year thing, but that's part of the life planning anyways that you got to figure out,
Right. And what's your skill set? Like you said, for people like that, their skill set may be doing something else. Maybe it's buying the rental properties. Maybe it's doing the flipping outside. That's what my wife wants me to do. Hey, just stay with rentals, stay with investment. I don't want to move every 2 years, honey.
Right.
And this couple, literally, they had a couple rooms that they literally it was like storage rooms because they knew they were going to move in a couple years. So they set up, made it look nice, so it was showable when they sold the home. But that's just one of the nice tricks. Make $1 million tax free.
Oh, absolutely.
So Matt, Section 280. What is that?
Yeah, this is a cool one. I think not a lot of people know about this, but you can rent out your home. If you live in your primary residence for 14 days, you can actually rent out your home for 14 days or less, and all of the rental income that you collect is tax free. So it may not be worth doing something on Airbnb for a couple $100, but with things where there's some high demand, whether it's Comic-Con or the All-Star Game, where there's a lot of people might be coming to San Diego.
Or a Super Bowl if we ever get a stadium
Super
built.
Bowl, yeah. Think about renting out your place, getting premium rents for those couple of weeks. What if you have perhaps you have a nice condo?
Kyle could probably get like $8,000 for 2 weeks. You might be able to get that with as big as house you got with that.
When the All-Star game comes?
Well, or a Super Bowl when there's a huge high-demand area. Because your home shows really well in person, on videos, on stuff. And I know depending on what teams came, right? Again, the East Coast people, it's crazy. Like the last Sweet 16, we were up here in Anaheim. I connected with a guy on Craigslist, agreed to $200.
You're not supposed to tell these stories
on
the air, Jason.
Yeah, okay. This is on tickets, though, Kyle. Give me a break, man. Kyle likes teasing me on different stuff here, thinking I'm some crazy Craigslister. So $200 tickets. He's
no
like, yeah.
Should ever start
I'm like,
out
I'm in Arizona
with a guy on Craigslist.
I'm in Arizona, driving back from the first 2 rounds of the game. This again when Kawhi Leonard was playing, and I'm like, hey, $200 a ticket. He's like, no problem, done. The next day I text him like, hey, where are we going to meet? He's like, I just sold them for $1,000 to UConn fans per seat.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you agreed to pay $200. He goes, dude, this guy gave me $1,000 per seat, $800. It was $3,200 more dollars. He goes, what do you want me to do? I go, you're right.
Yeah.
So depending if we get one of these East Coast teams to come out in a Super Bowl, you could do that. So it's 14 days for the year.
14 days. And so if you have like a condo downtown, people want to be near where the action is. Perhaps you have a nice condo in a high rise. Or if you can get $7,500 a week for a 2 or 3 bedroom, it's $15,000. If you're in 40% tax bracket, that's $6-7 in tax savings. And you know what? You go boost off, get your vacation paid for. And
yeah, you could go anywhere for $15,000 tax free. Like that would be nice. I like it.
That makes some sense. I know that when the Super Bowl was here last time, and everybody that lived in like Serra Mesa, lived in Normal Heights, all the closest communities to the stadium, I mean, people were renting dumps out for like $10,000 for a week, $20,000. It was insane.
That is insane.
It makes you want to like rent. If you know a Super Bowl's coming to San Diego, you almost want to like rent a house out in advance and then flip the rental, so to speak, on it.
Like doubling the rent, right?
There could be some good opportunities there.
It could be. I still think you're better off buying, but You might get in trouble renting and then
in subletting
and some of the stuff on there.
And you don't get the tax deduction. It's got to be your primary residence.
There you
this
go.
Good
call, Matt.
I'm thinking
He's just
as
thinking
an investment.
Money.
I'm thinking about.
Money.
I like
you are
to
a real
flip
estate agent,
I
though,
want to
right,
flip
Kyle?
anything I can. I don't care. And if I got to deal with guys on Craigslist like you do, Jason, then that's what I'll do. Whatever's going to make me money.
Yeah, be careful now, right? Whatever's going to make you money, be careful, sir.
I love it. So if you want to connect again, Matt, awesome stuff. Really good ways to save some money for our listeners. If you want to connect with Matt, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. We're going to head to a break here on Whissel Wednesdays. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit more. Matt Rinkey, Illumination Wealth. We'll be right back.